Everybody, Tim Knight here. Whoa, what a glorious red day we have. Whew, nice change. It's okay when the day is green and I'm still doing well with my shorts, but it's extra good when the market in general is kind of falling to pieces. And, you know, only last night, about an hour before midnight my time, the ES was just pushing higher and past its resistance, looking like it was breakout time. Inexplicably. And we are down now across the board. The ES is down fractionally, but in this forever up market, it feels like a crash. So just a lot of red all over the place, and my short's doing particularly well. Day after day, many of them are down 7, 8, 9, 10, 11% on a daily basis. And there's a quiet bear market that's been going on. A lot of huge stocks, household names, are down 30, 40, 50%, 70%, while, you know, the ES has been just stomping higher, giving the politicians something to brag about. So there's a lot of rot underneath the surface, and that's my specialty. I'm all about the rot. So having said that, let's jump in. I've got a bunch of charts here, and the good news is that, glory be hallelujah, the diamond is broken. First time ever. Ever since the March 30th bottom, the diamond is broken. We've cut through that trend line. I'm short this ETF, and I'm hoping for lots more dropping tomorrow. I don't know what today's weakness is about, and it really doesn't matter because I'm a purist. If you're like, didn't you hear about the nuclear war? I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. I just need the charts. So I imagine maybe tonight's mystery speech might have something to do with it. I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. If the mystery speech freaks people out, maybe we'll get a nice tumble tomorrow following this very slight fracture of the uptrend. The small caps IWM is also just below the trend line. This is the third time it's kind of teased us, getting a little bit below it. We've got a cute little shooting star there. There's been a lot of fake outs lately, a lot of fake outs. And this had been quite strong earlier today, and now it is slumped into the negative below that trend line. And emerging markets are especially weak, down 2.31%. A lot of you probably, or some of you probably have heard that 1 out of 30 South Koreans has got a margin call. That's kind of cool. I'll just say again that sorry to be so repetitious, but the story I read a few weeks ago about how 21-year-old South Koreans were running around borrowing money to trade stocks and they didn't have any idea what they were doing. That was like, ring the bell. What's the ETF for South Korea? Let me short it. It's been a fiasco. The leveraged KORU ETF has lost most of its value from where it was on June 1. And yeah, I think it's just the beginning because it's not like there's been any bad news. There's been no sea change in the AI mania. But even without that, it's melting. Memory stocks, semiconductors, the hyperscalers, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of value already gone, and there's not even any bad news yet. Lots of trillions to go, I would say. EWY, speaking of, here's South Korea down over 5%. Just absolute nightmare for the youngsters who fancy themselves as traders. It's been down solid since June 18, and we will get bounces along the way. We had a bounce here, and we had a bounce here, and here, and here, and it doesn't make any difference. That is the slope of hope. You know, heard that before. China, FXI. I will not give up on this. I refuse. This is the hill I'm going to die upon because I again got stopped out of my FXI short. Don't care. I have doubled down. I gobbled up an irresponsibly large quantity of FXI puts this morning, and this is going to turn out eventually for me. This is going to be a great trade. So yeah, I have amped my risk up on this massively, and I would also add that my puts tend to be January's. These aren't. These are Septembers because I want a whole bunch of them. So yeah, FXI, we're giving it another whirl, and I just love that chart. So massively short China by way of FXI. Also continue to be short Baidu, BIDU, and Baba. I guess the news that popped these fellas up, I didn't get to see the particulars, nor does it matter, but something about Apple doing some licensing with these companies for their own AI. Apple been very well managed, strategically, brilliantly positioned, and it will, business case studies will be written decades from now about they were the ones that made the choice not to follow the sheep into the AI mania. And they are better for it. They are doing very well as a company. This is a company, by the way, that was on the brink of bankruptcy in 1996. And now they are, if not the largest company in the world, awfully close to it. Lifetime highs every day. I don't know what they're doing today, but they have been come out smelling like a rose compared to, say, Oracle, which has been just devastated by this infatuation with AI. So hats off, Tim Cook. Those Tims, I gotta tell you, they're cool guys. SpaceX. Oh, it's just sad. Red, day after day after day. It's gonna absolutely be a double-digit stock next month. And I tweeted out, it occurred to me that the flip side of being a trillionaire is that you're also the only person on the planet who can lose hundreds of billions of dollars of your net worth in just a few weeks, which is what's happened with Elon. They had 3 good days. Count them. 1, 2, 3. That was it. 3 good days. And they have been barfing all over the place ever since. So they went flying higher. Everyone was running around with their hair bursting into flames, screaming about SpaceX. They undid that mania in 3 days. They found stability around 150-ish and started to kind of show a little bit of strength, which also diminished. And then since then, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row of lifetime lows. And the employee, can you imagine the incentive within the halls of SpaceX? It's like, what am I doing here? Because these people were exultant on the 3rd day of the IPO. They were all billionaires and centimillionaires, and everybody's like high-fiving, and over $1 trillion lost already. And God help the newer employees. Like, okay, I'm underwater on my options now, thanks. So yeah, and I see no reason for this to not sink for a long while, especially since August 13 is coming. I don't know if they've set their earnings date yet. At some point, they'll deign to tell us when they're going to announce their earnings, or not earnings, their financial data. There won't be any earnings, but their information, the fundamentals. And it could get fugly at that point. So yeah, nasty stuff. I do not celebrate it. I just stand here slack-jawed with my eyes wide open about, wow, there's nothing holding this up except a value on the y-axis equal to 0. Here's the cubes, and they have broken below their pennant. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll still get some serious selling here for a change. I read the president has an API now into his texts that you can license. I guess hedge funds and such can license it. I'm a writer. I've written 24 books and 1 very thick novel. I could not make up this stuff. And even if I did, it was like, that sounds too silly. I'm not going to put that in. Every day gets weirder. The president has an API for his text for traders. I could make the solid state pales in comparison to what we're witnessing now. It's just unbelievable. I could not make it up, but reality, as we all know, is stranger than fiction. In the realm of the tech stocks that I continue to be short, and I was lamenting this morning, I have the happy problem of like, well, when do you have enough profits? What's satisfactory? And I did cover here and there. I've got to tell you, I've been trading a long time. I've never been able to say, gosh, I'm sure glad I covered that. I hit it exactly the right point, and the stock's soaring now, so good for me. No, you know what normally happens? I cover it, and well, it's still falling, isn't it? Because it was a really good short, you Nimrod, and that's exactly what's been going on. I didn't cover much, a little bit here, a little bit there, hardly anything, but in every case, it's like, ew, it's still falling as God intended. So, yeah, but by and large, I'm still short. 40 different positions now. AMAT is one example, down over 3% today. CRDO down almost 10%. These aren't like yearly changes. These are daily changes. Negative 10% here. Nokia. And again, I look at something like this like, when is enough enough? When do you cover? When do you take profits? It's nerve-wracking. STM, which is ST Microelectronics, down almost 8%. Down, 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 down. People aren't used to this. Anybody under, say, I don't know, 40 has never seen a bear market before. So I'm sure they're quite flummoxed as to what to do. Buy the dip. Well, at some point it doesn't work anymore, does it? AXTI, down, good God, 15.5%. Look at this. This has gone from 150 to 40 in a matter of weeks. And this is commonplace. Sienna, down 7.38%, breaking below its last hope of support. Lumentum, you've heard these names before. Every day I trot these things out, down over 7%. Marvell, MRVL, down almost 10%. Day after day after day. Micron, huge company, down a satanic 6.66%, having broken its trend line. And by the way, it's not just the broken trend lines. I haven't bothered drawing them, but in many, 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 many cases, you got this going on, boink, like that. That's peculiar. Head and shoulders pattern. So the trend line, that's cute, we appreciate that, but there's something much bigger going on, which speaks to much lower prices. So, yeah, as the only bear on the planet, I've been trying to report this stuff, and it's a little awkward, day after day. Tim's still short, but this is what's unraveling now. When everybody's a bear, when Jim Cramer's doing short ideas and such, then okay, then we can buy. But as it is now, I'm the only game in town, the only one crazy enough to dare to defy this market. And it's working sometimes, These are pretty nasty breakdowns. Seagate, STX, down 10.5%. Example after example. It's not like I've found the handful of stocks that happen to be down today. These are the same symbols you've seen every day for weeks. And they just keep eroding. WDC, another old friend, down 10.71%. Double-digit drops all over the place. And what's the ES down? 0.71%. So these are exceptional losers, which I appreciate. Caterpillar puts on this, down $38. Weirdly, tractor manufacturer becomes like an AI god. And SMH, listen. We are right at the cusp of support right now. Give me another 0.1% and support has failed. We are right at the cusp. This is it. There is no more support after this. And this also, incidentally, is a lovely head and shoulders pattern. So you could see this just collapse tomorrow, God willing. But, for every bear out there, there's about 10,000 bulls. So it's a tough fight. IonQ, we haven't talked about quantum in a long time, but basically across the board, everything to do with quantum computing has been a fiasco. There's no revenue, there's no profits, there may be no hope for this technology. But it kind of went to the vanguard of like cold fusion. It's just like, oh, this will happen. But this has just been another fad, like gene editing, that has just fallen on its face. A couple of healthcare stocks had a huge pops today. I shorted those early on. They're beautiful charts long term as a short position. But United Healthcare, UNH, very strong day. But look at the size of that red bar. Most of the gain's gone. And Humana, HUM, huge gain at the open. Look at that bearish engulfing pattern we've got. and we've got a drop of over 4% now. So beautiful, beautiful stuff. Just super. Last chart in Q. Let's watch this. We are right at support, just like with the SMH. I've talked about this every day. We've been in this range for a while. For the past few weeks, we've been in the lower half of the range. We're starting to challenge the bottom of even that level. So there's a possibility tomorrow could be a nice big drop. So we'll see how that goes. So I hope you're doing all right. I will see you here tomorrow. And thanks for dropping by. Goodbye.